Hey guys, welcome to, what is it called?
Waste Not Wednesdays?
Waste Not Wednesday. It's new, so I forgot.
Is that what we're calling it? Our outdoor space is still not together back behind us, but we're building the coffee table today, so should
A
be
lot
fun.
of people yesterday were like, how come you're not reclaiming or thrifting? We do have some reclaimed and thrifted ideas coming into our outdoor space. There's just a few things that we started off, and then we're going from there and adding in some layers. And I'm excited about this coffee table. I would have totally bought one thrifted instead of making one if I could have found the size that we needed, but I just couldn't get anything that was the size and the character that I wanted for the space. So we had an old barn door. Zeb cut this down. Zeb, do you want to show them the part that you cut off so they can kind of get an idea what it looked like before?
Yep.
I'm going to pull this up.
So here is kind of the leftovers of the door. It was just a little too long for the space, so zipped it off. Still got one good hinge. Might do something with this. It's got this
sign.
It's got this section that's peeling up, and it's got like this ribbed detail on the front of it, which is kind of cool. It's very unique. We're leaving that on the top so you can see it. And I took some old cedar that was milled by my dad and I, and
we saved it from when we went over the back porch. We pulled aside some wood that we knew we would use for future projects, and this is some of the wood that we saved.
so if you watch tomorrow's edited video, you'll get to see how I make these legs and a little more detail on getting the wood prepped. But
we'll either be tomorrow's video or Friday's vlog, one or the other.
It'll be tomorrow's video.
Okay.
We'll get it done. So those go together like so, two pieces, and I've got 4 legs cut out here, and that's going to be the foot on the end of the table. And let me hold it up.
Well, and the nice thing about cedar is that it resists bugs, so that'll be a good plus.
It's great outdoor
And
wood.
this old barn door has been outside for a million years, so it's perfect to throw outside. The first thing I'm going to do, you guys can't probably see them, there's some hinges on this that I want to keep on the final door, but I'm going to take them off because I don't want to paint them. So we're going to remove those hinges.
Here, I'll
I'm going
remove
to get
them.
started painting, and Zeb's going to show you how he assembles these legs.
Oh, there you can see the
So
hinges
this barn
there.
door we salvaged from an old house back in our salvaging days. It's part of the reason we wound up having a lot of junk. I'm not really sure how old it is. I'm guessing it's probably from the 40s, just based off of some of the construction. Zeb's having a hard time getting the hinges off.
It's got a nut on the back of it.
Oh, gotcha.
This might take longer than we thought.
All right, well, while you do that, I'll get started painting stripes. It'll be a while before I make it over there. We're going to trim out the edge of this coffee table, and then eventually Zeb will cut a hole in the middle and put in a fire pit. We actually have a hack for that, but I don't think that's going to make it this week because that's going to be a little bit more involved.
Yeah, we're going to get the space all set up, and then the fire pit will come into play.
Yeah, you probably should clean before you paint, but I don't really care
We're
today.
going crusty, chippy look anyway, aren't we?
So I'm going to paint each one of these stripes a different color, and for Waste Not Wednesday, I used some old paint. This one didn't have the lid on it very good, that I had just been sitting around. So the first coat paint that I'm putting on here is Petticoat Pink, and I'm going to make it look kind of stripy, kind of like our Deborah coffee table, the one that we saw in Joanna Gaines' house and we kind of copied. That's what look I'm kind of going for here. Our backyard space definitely needs some color. It probably looks white, but this is like a very soft pink. And I'm not worried about full coverage because I'm going to sand a lot of it off anyways. Can I have that flathead when you're done?
Yeah.
So next color is Cake Batter. And we will be sealing everything. We bought a indoor-outdoor sealer that we've never used before, so hopefully it works good.
We'll try it out and let you know. Can I get the screwdriver back?
It's water-based, made by Kills. So you can use the DIY paint outside. I always just suggest using a water-based outdoor sealer to protect it, because the sealers we carry are all natural, and so they just don't have the...
They don't hold up to the sun.
They don't have the oomph to hold up to the weather. So, there we go. If you have OCD, this might drive you crazy because I'm not taping anything off. I'm just striping it. There's lines, like you might not be able to see, but there's lines in the piece, and I'm using those as a guide.
I'll bring you guys in close in a minute when I'm done so you guys can kind of see the detail on the barn door and the ribs and things. They pop up a little better now that it's got some paint on it.
Well, and it has the old keyhole here in the door, And it's also got the old doorknob kind of mount. So I might put a doorknob on here. We'll see. This is cake batter, which is like this really soft yellow. I don't use it often enough. I do love it.
What are we gonna do? The base all one color, or are you gonna?
The base will be white, I think, and I'll have one skinny white stripe on here probably. All right, so we got
just
two.
a heads up, if you're going white, we may get bleed through on these legs, these cedar legs.
Oh.
So we might want to either seal it first or do something maybe like a gray color.
What if we just do like a natural steel wool and vinegar stain on it?
Yeah, we could. So here is the cedar. This is what it looks like, kind of raw. It's Spanish cedar, and it's got this really pinkish purpley kind of tone to it, and that'll bleed through if we paint it just like that. If we hit it with some steel wool and vinegar, this side's been exposed to the weather and the sun and things. I've just had it sitting outside. It'll look more like this when we're done. We've tried a bunch of different stains on this cedar, and it always just ends up looking purple no matter what color we do.
Yeah, so steel wool and vinegar is our best bet. We've done it a lot. We did some beautiful tables with it when Zeb was building a lot of tables. So I think we'll just stain the legs. The trim I can go white on though, right? It's not the same wood.
The trim is Douglas fir pine out of Colorado.
Oh,
so
okay,
yeah, we'll be all right on the trim.
I'm going a little bit neater on the back end stripe, although I messed up right there. Hold on.
Man, they did not want this door coming apart. This hinge is really on here.
I'm gonna have the whole top painted. This looks like sherbet ice cream. This may get a whitewash if it's a little bit too, because I like neutral spaces. It's not a lie. I mean, it's not a secret, and the rest of the space is pretty neutral. I also thrifted a little side table. If we get to it, I'll paint that today. If not, I'll do it on the video. I found a little side table it's an outdoor table, and it was $8, which I thought was a pretty good deal. So this color is Apothecary. If you're new to our channel, you might not have seen it before. And if you're not new to our channel, then you've seen Apothecary about 8,000 times. It's a fan favorite of mine. Okay. Next, I think I'm gonna bring in, oh look, the iPad has been splattered.
Oh, you got it good.
Yeah.
Good thing it's got a cover on it.
That's funny.
Are there any comments we need to answer in between
Oh, I don't know.
colors?
It says we're buffering really bad, but I can see it fine on here. So if we're having a problem with it buffering, go ahead and restart your internet, because it's fine on this iPad.
Or just refresh the page, like go out of the video and restart it.
Yeah. Cute for a girl's bedroom or a backyard design. Zeb, I need your muscles. Oops, now there's more paint on it. If you wax a piece of furniture and need to repaint, can you repaint over the wax? If it's been like 30 days, just lightly sand and repaint. If it's been recent, then you want to take the wax off with mineral spirits. Okay, let's see if there's any more questions. Let's see. Can I adopt? Well, it depends. What do you want to adopt? Finally painted some candlesticks in Apothecary. Now you know why I use the color so much. Yeah, it's a good one. And I'm probably gonna get paint all over my shirt too.
That's right, that shit's old.
Yeah, we're kind of in hustle mode because tomorrow I fly out to California. I'll be there from Thursday to Tuesday. So I'm trying to help. I gotta order groceries so they don't starve.
We would not starve if you don't get around to that.
I'm making sure that all the shipping is organized. For the website, I did a ton of shipping this morning and shipped out everything I could until my next paint shipments come in. Got that done. And then we've already shipped out all of our products for my classes. So I'm like, check on that. Probably about midnight, I'll pack my bags, or in the morning. I never stress about packing. I don't pack early. I figure if I forget anything, it's not like I'm going to the middle of nowhere. I'm going to be in San Diego, California area, so I could just go shopping and buy something if I forget.
Do you need a toothbrush?
Yeah. Hopefully I don't forget my makeup. I forgot my makeup last time. That was an expensive mistake. But the thing about makeup, you're going to use it anyway. So I've used it all up since
Your
then.
white lid is off.
My white lid is off? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's any more questions.
Is this still looking okay?
Hey
It's not
Zeb, can you
buffering?
come open my paint jars? Question, why is it called Apothecary? Because Debbie thought it looked like the color of an old apothecary cabinet. All of her paint colors kind of come from things from her real life. So All right, this is beadboard, and I don't know what that is, but we'll just paint over it.
All right, one more bolt.
This is beadboard, which, depending on the light, looks very, very white because I feel like it pulls blue. Somebody the other day said it pulled gray. I think it pulls blue. Okay, so if you guys are following along with me, you can see that when I'm coming across this back line here, trying to be a little bit neater. The front line I'm not so worried about because I'll cover that with the next color. And this is all gonna get distressed, so it'll blur any mistakes.
Yeah, this red, this barn red color is gonna come back through.
Yeah, it's gonna look good.
It's like a really aged barn red.
It's gonna be so good. All right.
It's like a, I don't know, I can't describe it.
Beadboard on there.
Like
the next color is prairie gray. So, you're kind of in my way, George.
Hold on, I'm on my last bolt.
All right. When you're done with that, can we flip it so I'm not like leaning over?
Yep.
And then you can do that. Thank you,
maybe
Zeb.
that'll save the shirt.
That'll save the shirt, yeah. Because otherwise, right about here, I'll get paint all over me. It looks lavender to you? Oh no, it's definitely not lavender. It's white. It could also be because we're in the shade, so that changes the colors of things.
Here, you want to lift that end up?
Yep.
All right, hang on.
We're switching this around. And I'm not worried about drips over the edge because Zeb is trimming
We're going to trim that out on the edge.
Okay.
All right, as soon as you get this painted, we're going to go set it in the sun. That'll be dry before the video's over.
Yep. So Hillary Hampton said she just got her stencils. I'm guessing she got her Jami Ray Vintage stencils.
Sweet.
Wowza, they are great quality. I love to hear that. That was one of the things when I designed the stencils and I talked to my manufacturer. I asked her to make it way thicker than she'd made stencils before, and she's like, people don't normally make them this thick unless they're like contractors and they're using the stencil on cement. And I'm like, trust me, we need them thick. So she worked really hard to make them to my specs, and I've been really pleased with them. So I know a lot of people that use our stencils are using them over and over again. Okay, so this is Prairie Gray, which is kind of like a grayish color. Except, are you showing them how you're doing the legs there?
I'm just going to start doing them.
Okay.
So I'm just, while she's finishing painting, I'm going to start putting these legs together. I'm going to countersink this hole. It's a 3/8 countersink bit, and then I have some 3/8 wood plugs that I'll fill these holes in. So I'm just going to put 3 screws down the side here, and that'll hold this together, and you'll see that come together in just a minute. Sorry if that's loud.
Oops. I gotta make sure my line's straight here. I'm gonna have to fix that white side. I got a little crazy here.
Using my lap as like a workbench.
Your lab, workbench. Zeb and I are really good at working in very small spaces and in a whole mess.
It's all for the live video.
Sometimes I have a messy garage and I literally like just work on projects. Instead of putting stuff away, I just work at the project I can get to, and then eventually it all gets done.
All right, so you can see a little better. I put my countersink holes in there. That way it doesn't split the wood. Then I'm gonna glue this back side here and screw that in like that. And, oh, did I do that backwards? Nope, that's right. Okay, so that I have like a nice even shape. And this one is 5 inches wide and this one is 6 inches wide. That way it can overlap and they're about the same width because the wood is 1 inch thick. So that'll make them the same on both sides, about 6 inches wide at the joint there.
So adding the stripe of prairie gray and the white really tones down these kind of pastel-y little girl colors. And then when I distress it, that barn red, literally barn red, because it's from an old barn door, will come through and kind of neutralize it as well. And then I'll paint, the trim will be painted white and the legs will be like a salvagey gray because we're gonna use the steel wool and vinegar on those. So it'll be good. All right, top is painted. You can see some of the board underneath. That's absolutely what I want because I'm gonna distress it. So do you want to throw this in the sunshiny?
Yep, let's go move it to the sunshine,
Okay.
and then I'll get to putting these legs together a little better.
All right, and then I'll paint
that chimney space. All right, we're gonna be off camera for just a sec while we go drop this in the sun over here.
Say goodbye to the top.
I don't know about that pink, Jamie.
Oh, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. I like it.
It looks like the side of an ice cream truck right now.
Hey, I didn't get this fluffy from not liking ice cream, so pass me that trim and I'll start painting that white.
Okay. So these are the trim pieces. This is going to be the skirt that holds the legs on and give us a little extra width on our table.
I'll paint these short ones first and then I'll paint these long ones with them.
Here, let's move them up over here. Oh, over there is fine too.
What do you have this salvagey chippy trim
Oh,
for?
I'm going to show them if we get time what we're going to do the planters out of.
Oh, do you want to move? Should I move the camera over? Or do you want me to get really close?
Oh, yeah, I'll move the camera over.
I'll move
There's
it.
like a mystery person over here hanging out.
Zeb, you let me know. Is that good?
Yeah, up though. Move it up. Right there. Maybe a little farther over.
Oh, heavens.
There you go, right there. That's good. That's good.
All right.
Is it still looking blurry? No, it looks clear over here on our end. So hopefully you guys that we're having trouble refreshed and everything's good.
Okay, so I'm just going to paint these with... So are you going to... Is this top part going to be visible?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll
That's
paint this
going to
one
be
side.
around the lip.
And I will touch up anywhere that's needed once he like staples it together.
Yeah, it's kind of a messy finish, and then the distressing pulls it all together and makes it look good.
Yeah, I'm not worried about full coverage, although because this is raw wood, it soaks it right up, so I'm not gonna get any streaks like I would if this paint had a finish.
Okay.
Okay, that one's done.
I'm gonna staple this. Well, these are nails. I'm gonna nail it before I screw it together. And that'll hold it nice and tight while I'm putting the screws on. Oh, maybe not. These too short. Not shooting anything out. Uh-oh. Jam on the live video.
Oh man, I'm gonna have these painted before you get those put together.
That's okay.
That's all right. I'll check and see if we have any steel wool and vinegar.
I have still wool, and I think we're out of regular vinegar, but we
I
can
think
see
we
how
have
that.
some that's been brewing for like 9 months.
No, we don't want to use that. That's just like solid rust at this point.
It'll be so good.
No, it'd be gross. But I think we have some apple cider vinegar that would
I
probably
think
do
that'll
the same thing.
And the thing about this cedar is usually you have to let the steel wool and vinegar sit for a while, but this cedar reacts like immediately, so you don't have to let it sit.
So if this doesn't staple through, then we're just gonna screw it in together.
All right, second board, done.
Oh, jam's gone.
You're a keeper.
Okay. And these are just 1 5/8 screws. They'll be plenty strong with 3 of them. By the time I put the skirt around up here and screw that in, you're never gonna know.
You're on your own. I got paint on my favorite pants. I'll be right back.
Paint on the favorite pants. We can't have that. So we got some shopping done late last night. We went to the Home Depot. We got some outdoor plants. We got some things to plant out here to kind of bring some more color. We had some white flowers and purple flowers and a few other things. And I'm gonna be building some hanging planters, I guess you just call them planters, out of some old beadboard. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hang them along the back wall to kind of fill up that white space between the gap of the ceiling on the pavilion and the gap between the couch. Okay. One screw down. Can you guys see what I'm doing there? Yeah, you can see.
Okay. Next.
You could always look at comments if you run out of things to do while I'm putting these legs together.
I'll look at comments before I get started on these boards. Okay.
Okay, so the reason I use the 3/8 inch countersink is because I have these 3/8 inch plugs, and I'm gonna put 2 of them. I'm not gonna worry about the top. I'm not gonna worry about the top hole here because that will be hidden behind the skirt. So just gonna, whoop, it's rolling away on me. Just gonna drop that in the hole there. And they're a little large, so you don't need to glue them. They're made so that if you need to get to that screw ever, you can pry them out. You don't want to glue them.
That's not going to stain the same as the cedar, but that's okay.
That's why you're painting it. It'll be all right.
We're painting what?
You're painting these, aren't you?
we're staining them with the still wool and vinegar.
And then I had designed them to paint, so I'm painting them now. I thought you were going to stain them so that you could have a uniform color and not worry about the bleed through.
I'll just paint them. How about that? And then if there's bleed through, I'll deal with it at that point.
All right, sounds good to me.
Deal. That's what we're doing. Somebody asked where we got the wood for the legs. It's Spanish cedar from Texas. Zeb's dad is handy like Zeb, and he milled it for us.
Yeah, he's got a mobile sawmill, and he cut the tree down, and then he brought him all the way here to Utah with his mill, and we milled them together. So there you go. There's one leg, and that's gonna go stand real well and be pretty sturdy. So it's a little taller. I designed the table, the coffee table. A traditional coffee table is 18 inches tall.
Oh, you made it taller? The couch is kind of low, and so are the chairs.
I measured the couch. I measured the couch seat at 18 inches. So it's going to be 20 inches tall total at the top of the table, because I'm putting a propane tank underneath there for the fire table. So I wanted to be able to have room to stand that up and not mess around with that. And that'll be a separate video. Can you hand me another leg stuff?
Yeah. So Linda said, hold on. Why are they all?
They're taped.
Well, there's 3 parts here. Linda said, do we always interact like this? We should give marriage tips. Pretty much, we don't put up any airs. Our personality that you see live is pretty much every day for us. We get a little spatty every now and then.
We argued about the rock color last night when we were shopping for fire rocks.
We didn't argue, we just had a difference of opinion. And this morning Zeb made these legs, and they had like, because I like
Gothic design a lot.
He likes Gothic architecture, so when he builds things, he tends to make it like really pointy. And I was like, Zeb, why is this pointy? I like round edges. So he was very nice, and I drew what the round edge, and he fixed it and made him flowy, because I like flowy and he likes Gothic. All right. We are putting a fire pit in the table. It won't happen probably this week. So Zeb was looking online. I'll wait till you're...
Hold on, one more. All right.
Zeb was looking online to try to buy the stuff to make the fire pit, and then I was at Home Depot, and I think this happens to me a lot. I have ADD, so my brain is all over the place, and in my mind I was like, what can we buy that we can make a fire pit out of that's cheaper than $130?
$130 is the cheapest.
And you have to wait for it to ship.
It was the cheapest I could find the kits on Amazon.
And sometimes on Amazon, like, you don't know the quality. And then I was like, I wonder if we could just buy like a tabletop barbecue grill, a gas, like a propane barbecue grill. And sure enough, we went over to the barbecue grills. We found a single burner barbecue grill. It had the coil thing that he needed. I don't know what the technical term is. And it was only $79.
The regulator.
The regulator. It was only $79.95. We don't have to wait for it to ship. So it was a good like $50 cheaper than Amazon. And I actually think that it's better than the one on Amazon.
Well,
and the shape works right.
If you were to go buy the table, the cheapest fire table that we found was like a little dinky round table. It was like $400.
Well, and it was just not my style. So that's a lot of the reason, like people say, how come sometimes you buy stuff and how sometimes you make or thrift it? If I can't find what I want, then I make it. And that's where I feel like there's savings in there, but then you can also get a style. I have a, oh, wait.
Well, time is money too. Sometimes you have time to do stuff and sometimes you don't.
I have a hard time with outdoor furniture in general. I feel like unless you spend a lot of money, it's all rather generic, and so it's not very exciting. If I want to show somebody something, I want to show them something unique. So I always got to bring a little bit of my own style and stuff in there.
So you'll notice this leg is much taller than this leg. On the table, there is a 2x6 going across the underside, and that's going to be where this goes. And then the other side doesn't have it where I cut it off. And so this will go in the taller, and that way they'll both be same height when we get all said and done.
Zeb, when you're attaching that tabletop, make sure that this part that I paint the top goes on top.
Okay.
Because inevitably it's the wrong side. And this was all wood that we had just sitting around, so I did not open any of this paint for this project, and it's all just leftover odds and ends.
Boy, that pine is soaking that paint off.
I know, it's good. It's getting great coverage. One coat and done.
By the time we put sealer on, that'll be like an original paint finish. It'll never come off.
like realistically, I would feel comfortable probably just using Big Top because it's covered, and it will only be outside when the weather is nice. When it starts to snow, we'll cover it up.
Yeah, once we hit like December and there's no more good days in sight, we'll probably just cover all the furniture and head inside for the rest of the winter months.
We don't get a lot of rain either. Somebody was talking about their rug got mildewy. It's pretty dry. Like, we're pretty much done with the wet season now. We don't get a lot of humidity. So we don't have much problems with mold around here. That cedar smells so good.
Yeah, it's my favorite smelling wood. This Spanish cedar, when you saw it, it's like potpourri.
It is. That smells yummy. All right, I'm gonna go to comments in just a minute now that I'm finishing up this board.
So this Type Bond 2 is my favorite glue. It's not completely waterproof. Type Bond 3 is waterproof, but you don't have a very long open time with Type Bond 3 wood glue. It's strong, it's good stuff, but you got about 5 minutes to work with it, and then your piece is stuck together and you can't move it or do anything. And
all right, I'm gonna start painting legs, but I'm gonna also answer questions.
and if you got a long section where you're trying to put glue on one part and then come back, it'll dry out on you.
Where do we live? We live in Lehi, Utah.
Yeah, we get rain like the whole month of April, but that's about it.
Okay, I'm trying to do the corbels with MDF. Do you know how much it cost at Home Depot? They have a lot of different ones online. Do you remember the price of a sheet of MDF? For the half
So
inch?
the half-inch MDF is like $28. The 3/4 inch MDF is only like $4 more. It's like $32 for a 4x8 sheet. Oop, I pressed too hard and split my wood.
So the tops of these won't show, right? So I don't need to paint that.
Yeah, no, the tops are going to be up underneath the skirt.
Okay. Oh, Anna says, is this the time we normally stream? So on Wednesdays, this is the time we stream. And then on Saturday nights, we stream at 8:30 p.m. Mountain
Daylight time.
Mountain Standard Daylight Time.
Mountain Daylight Time in the summer, Mountain Standard Time in the winter.
If you're just tuning in, we are making a salvage coffee table. And I'm just painting all the parts because when you do multiple colors and you're building it from scratch, oh, you missed a plug.
I know it's going to be under the skirt.
Oh, okay. When you're doing this many different colors on your building a table, I feel like it's easier to paint the parts and then put it together and touch up anywhere you mess up. And then I don't have to worry about being neat. And I'm not doing full coverage on this because I'm going to sand a lot of it off. So I'm not going to waste time and paint trying to make sure it's perfect.
How long have we been live? Are we going to have time to screw the sides on?
It's 11 o'clock, yeah.
Sweet. Oh, got
I'm
a
getting
little,
these legs done. The top and the sides are dry enough that as soon as you're done with that, you can throw that top
got a little
together.
chip on my cedar here. Glue.
We're going to have paint on our grass, just so you know.
That's okay. The sprinklers will take care of that.
And you haven't mowed the backyard yet. We did buy a new lawnmower yesterday, too.
Oh, man. I tried to get the lawnmower started for a couple of hours, and it just wouldn't go. I think it's a carburetor problem, and Harrington used it
For his lawn mowing business.
He used it for a couple summers to do a bunch of lawn mowing and things for the neighbors, and it's pretty hammered. He was not gentle with the mower.
We've actually never bought a lawnmower before. We've always had them given to us from friends, so that was like the first lawnmower we've ever bought. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I'm almost out of beadboard, so I'm gonna have to get real, kind of, what's it called? Light? Is that what that
Oh,
means?
you're gonna dry brush?
Yeah. I don't feel like going inside. I know we have more beadboard. But holy.
Might be time to sharpen this.
Well, I started out with half a sample, so really not a lot of paint. There, got done. I can't read the comments because there's paint all over this. Les asked if we have allergies like her. Zeb kind of does, but we're used to it now. We don't really.
When we first moved up here from, I'd never had allergies my whole life. We moved up here from Arizona about 10 years ago now, maybe 11 years, I can't remember. And I had terrible allergies for like 2-3 years, got used to it. We moved back down to Arizona for like a 1-year stint for some work stuff. And I got allergies in Arizona real bad. Then we moved back here and I had allergies again up here about the time I was getting used to it in Arizona. And now I'm good to go again. So whatever's in the different locations gets me.
Yeah, our kids, like our 2 oldest, get allergies. I just bought them some Claritin. If they actually use it, it helps, but they don't remember to do anything. But I feel like at
They don't take the
13
medicine.
and 16,
Yeah.
they are on their own. I'm not going to remind them to take their medicine every day. I don't really have runny nose allergy type things. All right. I'm going to see if I can make this little dab of paint last for that last leg there.
All right.
Megan asked a question. Let's see. How is a DIY paint for tabletops as far as scratching and durability goes? Okay, so any time that you paint a tabletop, you risk that it's going to scratch or chip because that's just the nature of any paint, any lacquer, like that's just how it is. But your best option, because DIY paint does dry hard, is to sand the tabletop so that way you get the most adherence to your tabletop. And then paint it, do a really great sealer. Big top or top coat is good, but you're gonna wanna do like 4 to 6 coats of sealer. Then do not use it for an entire week and baby that top for a month. Because after a month, the paint and the sealer will dry hard. You don't have to sand to use DIY paints or any of the paints that we carry. However, it will give you the best adherence, and for a tabletop, that's gonna be your best bet. So hopefully that answers your question. I have painted tabletops, but just know you're probably going to want to distress it a little bit because it will chip over time. It's just the nature of paint. All right, are you ready to put that tabletop
It's dry enough, but I'm going to, as soon as you get done painting that, I'm going to flip it on its lid, and that's how I'm going to put the top on so that it's nice.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it might take off some of the paint when he flips that on its lid, but that's okay because I'll just touch it up or distress it. All right.
I'm going to put your brushes all down in the paint so they don't dry out.
It's DIY paint. I could just soak them later.
Yeah, they wash up easy.
Yeah. Now, if you let it sit for a week, maybe not, but all right. That is not my best coverage there. All right. I'm trying to make, I'm like scraping the bottom of the sample here. I might come back later before we seal it and add some more white paint.
Here, if you lift that up, I can put this on here and you can just paint on the top because this is just the bottom. No one's ever going to see that.
Okay. All right. Does anybody ever do this? Like scrape the absolute last bit of paint out of there, and then sometimes I'll add water and make a wash. Like liquid gold, you gotta make it go a long way. All right, just barely enough. It's very satisfying to finish the end of a jar of paint and have just enough for a project. Boom. Okay.
Done?
Done.
Okay. Like that's gonna get tipped over.
I'm gonna go take, while you're doing that, I'm gonna take all these paint colors inside.
Okay.
So we're not messing with that.
All right, so lip number 1, it's not quite dry. This is essentially gonna be the table skirt. And I cut it, looks like I'm winning on my cuts. Okay, can you guys see that okay?
I think so.
All right.
Yeah, it looks good.
So right here, just gonna countersink this, and Jamie will have to touch up over the plug, but
I'm gonna
that'll
have
be
to
all
open
right.
up new paint. Actually, I might have enough.
My countersink bit's all dull. I'm gonna put a couple just right here in the edge.
Sweetie, where'd that prairie gray go?
Oh, it's right over here by the pillar.
Okay.
Oh, and I forgot to glue it. want to glue it. Hang on.
Now I gotta take it off.
Time out for the glue. So the glue is going to help keep it from getting wobbly later down the road, because wood will expand and contract, and the wood will help keep it all kind of nice and tight over the years, because the screws will get loose as the wood expands and contracts over time.
All right, so now that I'm done painting, if you're just tuning in, because we get asked a lot, and you want to use the paint that we're using today, you can pick it up at jamirayvintage.com. We used beadboard, cake batter, apothecary, petticoat pink, and prairie gray. Whew, I remembered it all.
All right, good job. What time is it?
Let's see, it's 11:07.
Just got to keep track of time because we don't want to leave Jack just hanging out at daycare.
It's just spinning, but I don't know if it's that on our end or not. I'm gonna hop out and hop back in.
It looks okay here.
Why is it being not working correctly? Okay, somebody asked me, I can't pull it up right now because my iPad's being funny. Where did I get my rug from? So this is actually 2 rugs. They're from IKEA. Zeb, can you read the comment that popped up?
Yeah. Nope, it's gone.
All right, hold on, I'm pulling this up.
You can just get your phone out and get comments on that, because that's on Wi-Fi, so that's a little far on the range.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. And if you were real into planning and doing things in a sequence, you could pre-drill all these and have them all ready to go, but we wing it. We wing it around here.
Prepped as much as Oops.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, now we're cooking with peanut oil.
How's it look? Is it all
looks
fuzzy?
fine.
Okay. I'm gonna put one here because it's kind of pulled away a little bit.
Are we gonna take out the nails on the bottom? Maybe.
These nails over here? No, they're gonna be hidden.
We just
under
hammer
the
them
skirt.
in. They're not the sharp end. They're like the
Someone
end.
probably just put them in there to hang rope or something off the back of the door.
The glue bottle is from Harbor Freight?
Nope. No. Glue bottle is from Mountain Wood Supply. It's a local wood supplier for all kinds of woodworking and things like that. It's called the Glue Bot. Can you guys read that? GLU-BOT. Right, that side's on.
Okay, so somebody asked a question. Now I lost it. Oh, they're talking about Never Wet. We're going to try out the dollar store today. We actually wound up buying a bottle at Home Depot just in case we didn't have time to go to the dollar store. But I'm going to see if they have the same Never Wet at the dollar store because I've heard everybody say they have there. If you're wondering what Never Wet is a product that you can put on rugs and fabric, and that helps you to be, it's like water resistant. So that way you can use fabrics that aren't ordinarily outdoor. I'm redoing a buffet and I want to buy apothecary. Should I get a quart? A quart should cover an apothecary. Unless it's like the world's largest buffet, I wouldn't see why it wouldn't work. And Lena says she loves our bargain couch from IKEA. I actually love it too. At $172, I could not have reupholstered a couch for that price, so I thought it was pretty good. And I love that I can take the fabric off and I can wash it, which I think will be important for an outdoor one.
That salvage wood is not uniform.
I love that everybody's helping them out with channel membership. Thank you guys that are channel members answering all the questions. I actually think that when channel members answer questions about channel membership, you're probably going to get the best, most accurate, unbiased information. So I appreciate that when channel members love it. What brush was I using?
I used Pixie.
Paint. They were all Paint Pixie.
There was
one of them
Zebra.
was a Zebra. Every paintbrush that I own. because I didn't want to wash them. So the paint pixies were the 1 3/4, and I think
The Zebra was the flat, kind of traditional looking brush.
The chiseled Zebra, and then the 1 3/4 paint pixie is what I think I was using. I just found whichever brushes were clean. This is a 1 3/4 here. It's a big one. Probably if you wanted to get straight lines, the chiseled is probably your best bet, or the best. I don't have that many chiseled, so that's why I used everything that I had. Oh, the one just now, yeah, this is the 1 3/4 that I was using with the beadboard.
That's a blending brush.
We use Tight Bond 2 is the wood glue that we use.
Yep.
Zeb said the Tight Bond 3
it's more for outdoor use, but it dries up too quick. Like, I don't like it.
What brush did you use? The clean one. Yeah, that's there are different uses for different brushes, but on mornings like this when I'm trying to get out of town, I just, whatever we got. The skirt on this is gonna not be all level because Zeb just used leftover wood. So some of the edges won't all be the same, and that's fine. When you're building from salvage, perfection is not needed. You want to have a little bit of character.
We might sand it too and get some things smoothed out. 80 grit fixes a lot of things.
Somebody asked if I'm going to stencil on this. I'm not planning on stenciling it. It has a lot going on color-wise. And I'm going to have a...
Hold on, you gotta talk in between drilling.
Hold on.
Right.
I'm gonna have a centerpiece on it, so I don't feel like it needs it, but I do plan on stenciling my 2 chairs that I got, but I'm gonna wait because I have a new line of stencils coming out, so as soon as my new stencils come in, I'm gonna be stenciling those chairs. Don't forget the glue, Zeb.
Oh.
On this one. Somebody reminded you. Here.
Of course.
Thank you, guys.
I'm building live on a video.
What's the couch situation? The couch situation is that we bought it at IKEA. It's a little bit big, but we're able to do some tufting and folding and get it to look good. And maybe eventually, maybe next year, I'll buy a new cover that's the right size. But for the price, we can't beat it. It only cost an extra like $62 to get the one as is with the couch cover we have. And that, you can't even buy the fabric for that, so I thought it was good. The new stencils should be out in the next couple of weeks. They're at the manufacturer. I'm waiting on, I've been told that by the end of the week I should have some proofs, so
all right, you
just
might need to scooch.
Just depends on if we have to make changes, how quickly they get out. My manufacturer is super, super quick though. Danny says the table is beautiful. Thank you. I even like the underside of it. All right, you doing good?
Yep.
Okay, I'm squatting down so you guys can see me. I'm getting a workout. Renee, my sister Renee's on here. She said they got grass in, so now they have to get them over. I actually saw that you guys just got your grass in. And Anna says, and let's not forget the couch was already assembled, which is worth every penny.
Oh man, they had them unassembled for just $100. I'm like, yeah, let's get the one for $172.
Yeah.
But the unassembled ones didn't come with covers, so we would have had to buy a cover.
Unassembled, it was $100 without a cover. For $172, it was assembled and it came with a cover, and I thought that was a smoking deal. I also like the 2 chairs that we bought from the as-is section were assembled and half off, so I like that. Maha says she loves that we're doing it from scratch and you guys get to see it. It's a little bit difficult to do builds like this live, but that's what our Wednesdays are going to be.
Well, we had this old door. We took it to the shop actually to sell it. We had it for sale for $50, and we're like, oh, let's go get that back.
I shop from myself all the time. I have to remember to take this out of inventory. I do that all the time when I want something. I'm like, oh, I think I have something at the shop that'll work. It's kind of like my little storage unit. I'm moving out of the way here.
You're good. I just have to put that end on, and then we can put some feet on it, and hopefully we get this going before it's time.
That plane is loud. Is there a plane?
There's been planes, there's sirens now. We're outside.
There's police outside. We are really close to the freeway. Like, you can see it from our front yard, so we do get some noise from that. People ask us all the time, like, do you guys get a lot of freeway noise? I'm like, who's gonna hear the freeway with 5 children?
It's ambient noise. It sounds like the ocean.
Danny Lyons, thank goodness you are not close by to me. Yeah, I get that a lot. People ask, they're like, if you were closer to me, I'd spend all my money.
All right, now we're over here in the sun. Prop you up so you can see Jamie. She's cuter than this table anyway.
I'm not cuter. Don't forget glue. Oh.
Trying to hurry so we can get this thing
did you
done.
Eat breakfast this morning?
I haven't eaten
Zeb
yet.
hasn't eaten breakfast, so his blood sugar is probably low. Happenstance says she lives by the freeway and a train track. We actually live by a train track too. It's on the opposite side of us. So the freeway's over here, train's over there. She says that she can feel the train. I can feel the train sometimes.
We used to, well, when we lived farther down the street, we would feel the train. Not so much here. But we also live right over the path that the planes coming from California go over to Salt Lake when they're on their descent.
It's what he's saying is basically it's relaxing and quiet where we live.
Yeah, it's quite quaint.
It's quite quaint. You know, we do live in the city, but the area itself is a small town feel. Like everybody's pretty friendly.
It was a small town 10 years ago. It's grown a lot.
Maggie, we moved? Nope, we haven't moved. This is where we've lived for almost 9 years. And actually, except for the year that we moved away, we've lived on the street since Harrington was 5 and he'll be 17 this summer. Take your time, Zeb. No boo-boos on a live, please. Don't screw through your finger, is what she's saying. Where are the chickens? The chickens got given away. A hard decision, but the reality is Zeb did not feel like putting together a new coop, and they needed a new coop, and we have worked really hard on this backyard, and they like to free range, which means they like to free poop, and we didn't feel like we could coop them up, and with all the stuff that we've added, they had to go, so the chickens are gone. Zeb
We sent them to a good home. They went with 8 other chicken friends.
Yeah, they went to go live on the range, home on the range. Zeb has promised Jack a sandbox, so we'll see. That may be a video sometime in the future, because Jack is the one who loved them the most. Oh yeah, you know what's funny?
I got a little gap back here. Oh well, it's rustic.
The backyard is super green because they pooped all over it. So the backyard is much greener than the front yard.
Okay.
And you know what? We might get more chickens eventually someday, but right now they're gone. Okay, hopefully.
Oh, that one didn't cover, so.
That's okay. I'm not worried about it.
This is the short side. You can see what I was talking about. There's this 2x6 here.
We're almost there, guys. Tell the truth, we ate them. No, we didn't eat them. Those chickens were old. Nobody wants to eat them.
I grew up farming. That's not an unfamiliar thing for me. When the chickens get old, you make soup.
We didn't make soup, though. We gave them away.
Oh, missed a screw. Hang on.
Kitty says she wants chickens, but her HOA won't allow it.
So we couldn't have roosters here, but that's city laws, because in the city of Lehi, chickens are considered a domestic animal the same as like a dog or a cat. But the roosters were not.
Kai Love says that chicken poop doesn't bother her. The problem is not the chicken poop for us, it's that the kids step all in it and then it gets all over the place and it's just kind of gross. My kids have no qualms about stepping in chicken poop. That one looks, oh, okay.
So on my table saw, there's a box of 2.5-inch screws. Can you go run grab those?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, getting the legs on here. I may have to put some metal L brackets on this one because they're not sitting down as far into the skirt as I wanted. But with using the reclaimed wood and the salvage, you kind of build what you have. Kind of build with what you had. That's what I meant to say. We are almost there. We're about ready to flip this thing over and see what it looks like in the space. Are you guys ready? I mean, like, I gotta put 16 screws in this and it'll be time. Oh, squeaky screw. Sorry, guys.
I'm gonna show them what we got at Big Lots.
Oh.
So, can't remember who it was. Somebody suggested Big Lots. Oh, I know who it was. I'm drawing a blank. It's a friend of mine from Facebook. Anyways, suggested Big Lots for the fire pits, and I'll remember your name probably after the live. We didn't wind up getting a fire pit there because we couldn't find any that were just a fire pit, but we got this cool light fixture, and it's battery operated.
Take it close so they can see it.
I will. It was $70, but it was 20% off, so it wound up being It was $56 on sale. So I'm excited about this one. So if you guys need an outdoor battery operated light fixture, hit up Big Lots while they're 20% off.
Oh, loud jet, that one's close.
So yeah, so look, you guys see that? I'm excited. It's gonna look great because we have a bunch of those hanging lights that are round bolts. So we'll have a lot of great light out here. All right, we're almost there, guys. Impatient. Whoa! This is the part of the lawn where we have a hole we gotta fill in.
Yeah,
there
that's what we got all that dirt for.
Don't mind me as I fall off the chair.
This afternoon we gotta plant a bunch of plants, make some planters, get this space looking good so we can show you guys.
What size batteries?
I think it takes AA's, which is good because I got a bunch of AA rechargeables.
I don't know, the box doesn't say. Hold on, I'll open it.
Is that one has a remote, right?
Yeah. It's pretty big too. Oh, AA.
Sweet. I remember looking at one of the other
ones. Yeah, we were gonna
ones.
make our own, like buy 3 different battery operated, but they didn't have a remote, and they were like $20 each for the hanging lantern. So this was actually cheaper than doing that because it was only $56, and it has a remote, which is great, so we don't have to get on the ladder to turn the light on and off. The thing is going to be getting the kids not to lose the remote. My little secret is that
Hold on, let me get these screws.
That's all right.
Can go.
My little secret is if I can order extra remotes, I order them on Amazon, and then I hide them somewhere, and then if the kids lose the remote, then we have the extra remote. But you can't let them know you have it, or else they'll lose the one that you have in storage. We have about 1 million remotes for our TVs because you can buy them on Amazon for like $8.
Better not have 1 million. It's like $8 million.
Do we get a lot of mosquitoes? Not compared to the south. We are really close to the Jordan River, so sometimes we do, and they come around with a big truck and they spray for them. KK Penny at Pet Services says, don't worry, they can hear me when you're screwing.
Oh, good.
So apparently my voice is very loud.
Good. You're projecting well.
Did you sand the legs off on camera, or are they just rough painted? Nope, these are just rough painted. I didn't bother to put
I'll show you up close. They've got mill marks on them still from the saw.
Yeah, plus I was running out of paint, so I just did kind of a rustic filler because I knew I was going to sand them anyway, so I didn't bother wasting the paint. I had just enough paint. Kitty says, mosquitoes are the state bird here in Houston. My sister-in-law lives in Houston, so I do know that. She tells us a lot about it.
All right. Okay, we're ready.
All right.
We're ready to flip this over and look at it.
Kylev says, you look you make building a table look easy. This kind of table is not too complicated.
Well, it was easy because the top was already put together.
If you can find a top like an old door, or even if you take like another coffee table and then you add legs, that will save you time and money, because if we were to buy the wood for this top, it would have cost us, how much you think?
It would have been about $50.
About $50, and a lot of times you can buy coffee tables for $30 or $40. Then you just take the legs off, add your own legs, add your own trim, and you can make it look custom without wasting time. And getting a tabletop to not be warped is kind of hard, so this alleviates that. All right, we're ready to flip it? Do we want to just put it over here so they can see what it'll look like?
Yeah, we're gonna leave it right here so we don't mess with.
It's gonna get distressed, so it'll look a little bit different, but we'll show you the basics of it. Okay. Oh, hold on, Zeb.
You want to get the dust off?
Yeah, I don't want to put that on my rug.
All right, let's flip it.
All right, guys, we're flipping the table to get the dust off, so bear with us. Okay.
Oh, I forgot to screw that one in. Time out.
Just a minute.
And I broke a foot. Oh well, we'll stay for it.
All right, we're going back in because Zeb, live on camera, Zeb forgot to screw a leg in.
I broke a foot.
You broke it?
Yeah, it broke off.
It's all right. We'll glue it later.
I'll just glue it and.
Want me to go grab a clamp?
No, I got a staple gun out here. Or the nail gun. The nail gun's here. You know, we like to show you what not to do. That's our goal. Like, don't do it like this. Do it
So
better.
he's gonna toenail that in, meaning he's gonna staple it at an angle. Don't staple your fingers.
No, I wouldn't.
You got the hammer?
All right. Wait, what are you doing? Just wait for it.
Oh,
I said to wait.
You said to wait. Well, you gotta staple that part there too. Sorry, guys.
I'll just glue it. All right, we gotta get this done because we gotta go get Jack.
It's okay. It's only 11:28. We got 2 minutes. Okay. We still need to. Okay, so you gotta screw that in. We gotta dust it off, and then we'll put it on there.
Yep. I think I drilled the holes.
Oops.
And then I forgot to screw it in because you were talking, and I was just trying to hurry.
This is like classic TV. It's classic. It's classic Zeb and Jami.
You got the comedy show today. I know how to fix stuff because I've broken a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and there's also grass on it.
Yep,
that's part of the character. You just pick the grass off, it makes it chippy.
It's outdoors.
Yeah, it's rustic. And I'm gonna have to paint this. Did you lose some of this, or was this missing right here?
That was missing. We'll just sand it and paint it. And... Okay. Well, it was a part of the bark right there on the edge.
It's cool.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Now, are you sure everything's attached?
Let's do the dump, and then we'll carry it over real quick.
All right. Let's not dump any more legs off.
All right, that leg's on. That's good.
You forgot to plug on this one. Okay. Is it all attached? Hold on.
Everything's attached.
All right. Shake it. Okay. All right, now you can bring them over.
Oh, got a little glue popping out.
It's all right. Bring them over so they can see They've all waited a very long time.
This has been like the whole deal, a whole hour's worth of video to see this. Hopefully,
this one's at kind of an angle here.
Okay.
Ta-da!
Here, I'll take you off.
Is that leg crooked, Zeb?
No, it's your eyes. Your eyes
are crooked.
Your eyes are crooked.
All right, we'll give you the full effect because this is gonna go on top. If you guys saw our live, I thrifted this, and we're gonna put these with some plants on it.
It might be a little crooked. I might have to straighten it back out later.
That's okay.
I built it upside down, so you get what you get.
Show them like a pan so they can like squat so they can see what it looks like. They're not seeing the whole.
I'll get them the whole thing. Give me just a sec. So we still have some holes to fill and a little more paint to put on it and some distressing and things.
And somehow you chipped that up.
That was glued down from earlier.
Oh, okay.
Glue wasn't dry.
All right, so.
Okay, now I'll go back so they can see the whole thing.
All right, ta-da! So the cool thing is that we're gonna have the fire pit in here. It'll be flush. We can put this over the top, and there's still room all the way around the coffee table for people to put their plates so we can eat outside. And I'll show you guys real quickly.
Oh, this is the thrifted end table.
I picked this up for $8. We're gonna take the glass out, paint it, and then this is gonna live between these two chairs. It's like the perfect height.
And we're hanging plants all along here in this gap.
Well, maybe eventually. We're thinking an old hutch here that we have in the garage with plants in it. And then we'll have a couple big pots of plants. And then that'll be it for now. And then we'll slowly add to it. But that's it.
And we got to do that all before tomorrow.
Yeah, because I'm flying out tomorrow morning. So, all right, you guys, we love you. Go to JamiRayVintage.com for the products we use today. Make sure that you hit that subscribe and notifications so you don't miss the rest of our videos. And we will have our video up tomorrow of the reveal of our porch pergola pavilion makeover. Bye, guys. Love you.
See ya.
Oops. End it.